Anybody can do a good thing here or say a nice thing there. But love, a man who's serious about you, is going to be a man who strives to be consistent in his actions. Not just strives, he just will be. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stephan here, aka Stephan Speaks, back with another relationship and dating advice video. Today's video is for the women, and we're going to be talking about the 7 things a man will do if he really loves you. Before we begin, as always, be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, and comment below. Tell me something you feel a man will do when he really loves a woman, all right? So now, mind you, there's going to be a lot more than 7 we could point to, which is why I'm going to really look to see what you guys add to the conversation. But I pinpointed 7 that I thought was at least some important ones we need to talk about and highlight today, all right? I also want to mention this. I'm not going to sit here and say there's never been a man who did these things because he was playing games. But it's very unlikely. Most men aren't going to do the things we're going to discuss today and be about simply trying to game you and take advantage of you. It can happen. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it is unlikely. If he does these things, chances are he is really into you, he values you, he respects you, he loves you, and you should embrace that and be willing to pour back into the man. But let's get right to it. 7 things he will do if he really loves you. Number 1, he will not pressure you to do what you don't want to do. So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of relationships where a man is pressuring or guilting the woman into doing what he wants. He's using manipulation tactics. He's using anger. He's trying to incite fear into you in order to get you to back down and do what he wants. That is not the sign of a man who loves you. When a man loves you, he does not want to put you in a position that you're going to be so uncomfortable. He does not want to make you feel some kind of way or feel awkward. Now, I'm not saying that some men may not have a moment where they kind of lose sight of things, because nobody's perfect. But typically, he's going to notice that it's really bothering you and he will back off. Plain and simple. So when a guy ignores how you feel, ignores how it puts you in, again, an awkward feeling, or you're really compromising what you're comfortable doing or engaging in, then he will fall back. All right, because that's what a man does when he loves you. He wants you to be comfortable. He wants you to be at peace. He wants to make sure that you guys are on the same page. He will be more patient with you. So even if he wants that thing, or he thinks this is something that you should be open to trying, because don't always think what he wants you to do is always some negative thing or something self-serving. It may be him trying to get you to conquer a fear or get out of your comfort zone. But even in that instance, he will be more patient with you because his love will cause him to be more patient with you. But his lust, his desire for being selfish, him looking out for himself, will ignore your feelings, will have no patience, and again, will use manipulation, fear, and whatever to get you to do what he wants. So when he loves you, he will not force you to do things you are not comfortable or are okay with. Number 2 on the list of things a man will do if he really loves you, he'll be willing to listen to you. Now again, kind of piggybacking off of number 1, when a man does not love you, when a man's not really about you and about the health of a relationship, he's going to be very dismissive. He's going to be very impatient. He is not going to be willing to sit there and listen to you. Hell, he may not even be willing to talk to you, all right? He has no time for that because in his mind, you are here for his convenience. But the man who loves you is going to embrace how you feel, is going to be willing to talk, or at least try to create better communication with you. He's going to be willing to listen to you. When I say listen, I don't just mean he's present physically, but no, mentally and emotionally, he's going to try to be in tune and hear what you're saying and understand it. so that he can start to implement things to create more happiness in the relationship and with you. So when you see a man who is willing to sit and listen, this is a man who is likely serious about you. This is a man who likely does love you. At the very least, he is trying to work with you to make things better. All right. And that is the type of man you should be entertaining. That guy who dismisses and has no time to hear you out, stay away from that guy. It's pointless. And understand something. If you can't talk to your man, what's the point of having a relationship? Now, here's a caveat. You better learn how to talk to him. And when I say that, don't take that the wrong way. But listen, you got to learn how to communicate effectively, because some of you, all right, don't realize your tongue is real sharp. Don't realize the way you speaking to that man, or speaking to anyone for that matter, makes people not want to sit there and listen or engage with you, because you have a lot of negative energy coming out of you that is attacking that person, or they feel like they're being attacked. That's not the right approach. So you do have to be effective in your communication. However, I would still argue that a man who genuinely loves you is going to make an effort to listen, is going to be willing to try to get on the same page with you. And if that is not there, then again, do not entertain him. The next thing, number 3 on this list of what a man will do if he really loves you, he will push you to be your best you. Let me explain this in a way that I think you'll be able to grasp it better. I think there's this idea that when people love you, they will simply accept you as you are. All right. They will take all your flaws and they'll work with whatever you bring to the table. And I would argue that the person who does that doesn't truly at the core love you. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but think about this for a second. You love it. For those of you who have kids, or maybe you have family members, all right, that you truly love. When you see flaws, when you see things that need to be improved, you don't just tell them, oh, you're fine as you are. You push them to be better, because you want to see the best come out of them. You want them to live a higher quality of life. You want them to achieve great things. Love wants to uplift the other individual. It's the same way God calls us to be greater in our lives, because he loves us. He wants us operating at a higher level. He does not want to tolerate us operating at a lower level. Now, yes, he will embrace us, and I'm saying God, no matter where we are, flaws and all, so to speak. All right. We're never too imperfect to come to God, but that doesn't mean he wants us to stay at that level once we come to him, because he loves us too much. So when someone loves you, and more specifically in this video, when a man loves you, he wants you to be your better self. He wants you to get healing. He wants you to find that passion in your life. He wants you to look your best. He wants you to hit that next level, because that's what love does. So don't get confused or allow yourself to believe that love means accept me as I am and keep me there. All right? No. And again, if you're still having a hard time grasping this, think about you with the man you love. Do you look at a man you love and say, just stay where you're at? Don't be any better? It's okay. It's okay if you got issues. It's okay if you got an attitude problem. It's okay if you broke. Nah, you might say, I'm still going to love you even while you're broke and have an attitude problem, but I want you to be better. And I'm hoping that you're going to become better. That's the reality of it. So when a man truly loves you, he is going to not only want you to be your best you, but it's going to inspire you to be your best you. So that's a key thing here. Not just about what he does and what he says. How does it make you feel? Because when you really love him and the love is flowing both ways, you have a desire to be better for him. You have a desire to maybe look good for him as well. Not that it's all about that. I'm just saying you have an innate desire to want to step up, all right, and bring a better you, because that love inspires you to be better. So when you don't feel that, and when you have a man who just keeps you in this lower level state, so to speak, then I would have to question, is love really there? Because when it is, like I said, he wants you to be your best you. Number 4 on the list of what a man will do when he really loves you. Actually, for 1 second, real quick, just want to let you know my book, The Man God Has For You, best-selling book, 7 traits to help you determine your life partner or soulmate. And it is flying off the shelves. Women are loving it. You can check the reviews on Amazon. Click the link in the description below or in the comments section. Has thousands of reviews, and I'm telling you, women everywhere are calling this book a blessing to read. You're going to love it. Again, The Man God Has For You, which is going to break down some of the things that you need to look for in addition to what we're talking about in this video. So now again, let's get to number 4. The man who loves you will want to provide for you. Now, let me make this clear right now. We're so conditioned to when we hear the word provide, we think financial. We think it's about the dollars, all right? But when I tell you he wants to provide for you, it goes beyond dollars. It's simply about doing for you, making sure you're good, pouring into you. He wants to provide. He wants to make sure you have what you need. That's what a man who loves you is going to do. That's how he's going to behave. Every man is not at the current position in their life to do a whole lot financially, all right? And though we can talk about how if he's not stable, he shouldn't be in a relationship, granted, but some of you may have accepted that you want to be in that relationship regardless of his financial position at the moment, regardless of where he is, all right? And I would even argue, if he's broke, all right, but he really loves you, he will still, and even more so, want to find ways to compensate for that. He will want to find ways to still be an asset to you, to still take the burden off your back, to be helpful where he can. Because again, that love drives him to give, drives him to want to do for you. Listen, lust is all about taking. It's all about self-serving. It's all about getting what I can get out of this. But love is about giving. Love is about being selfless, all right? While lust and all these other things are about being selfish. So when he is selfless and when he is looking to provide for you, that is a clear sign of love. But again, do not get caught up or locked into the idea that providing has to be about money. It goes beyond that. And I would argue that there are some situations where a man will provide money and stop there. He won't do anything else. And so again, if he's simply scapegoating his money, so to speak, and saying, well, I do for you, I give you this amount of money, but then he does nothing else, how is that love? Because again, love will go beyond that. The man who loves you will want to make sure you're good, period. End of discussion. Anything less than that, then I'm going to say he's not it. He's not the one. He's not serious. He does not love you. Number 5, the next thing he will do if he loves you is he will show you off. Now, this might be a sensitive topic for some of y'all, and there might even be some men watching this like, wait a minute, what do you mean show her off? Listen, here's what I simply mean. When a man truly loves a woman, he's proud to have that woman. All right, he's happy to have that woman. And he, even if it's not show her off, like posting you everywhere and all this kind of stuff, he's gonna want to bring you to his family. He's gonna want his close friends to meet you at the very least. Because again, some people are not about that social media life. All right, and I do not think that social media is a measure of someone's love for you. So don't get that mixed up. But if he can even introduce you to family and friends, we got a problem. Now, yes, I know there are some men who will do that and they're still playing games. Again, I told you there are exceptions to every rule. So this isn't 100% gonna be, oh, he automatically loves you and is serious. But I can say this, you can't convince me that he truly loves you and he refuses to introduce you to his family. He refuses to bring you around his friends. The only possible argument is if he thinks he has such a toxic family or environment, he doesn't want to expose you to that. But that typically is not the case. There's at least somebody or some people that he's going to want you to meet when he's serious about you and truly loves you. So yes, there, to a certain extent, the man who loves you will show you off. But again, don't start rushing to your man talking about why I ain't got 10 pictures posted of me on social media. Listen, we're not doing that, all right? But at the very least, he should be showing you to friends and family. That's what love makes a man want to do. Number 6, on the list of things a man will do if he loves you, he'll be willing to make sacrifices for you. Again, lust is about what we're getting, about being selfish. Love is about giving. It's about being selfless. And so in that love, there's going to be a willing to make sacrifice. Not to a point, and when I say not to a point, I don't want people to think that because you love someone, you have to sacrifice at a level to where now you are unhappy or miserable in the relationship because you're giving up so much. No, but he's going to be willing to let some things go if necessary. He's going to be willing to make some adjustments for you if necessary. The same way you're going to be willing to sacrifice for him if you truly love him, because that's what we do when we love each other. We also are going to be willing to compromise more and find ways to get on the same page and work together, because love wants to find resolution. All right? Love wants to make peace. Love wants to create harmony within the relationship. But anything outside of love does not give a damn about how you feel. Does not give a damn about harmony in the relationship. It simply cares about getting the outcome that that person desires. That's it. That's all they're focused on. But when they love you, they're going to be willing to be flexible. When he loves you, he's going to be willing to evaluate some things and make some changes to keep the peace and make sure that you know he loves you, that you know he's serious about you. So pay attention to that, but I feel the need to say, don't try to test him like that. And what I mean by that is this. If a situation arises that truly calls for sacrifice, okay, fine. But don't go trying to create false situations and scenarios so you can test this man's willingness to sacrifice for you. Don't use deceit and deception to try to play this game of seeing how much he cares, because I'm telling you right now that will backfire on you. And as a grown adult or as an individual who's trying to have a healthy relationship, you don't need to be playing any kind of games. All right? So yes, he'd be willing to sacrifice, but don't go trying to create fake situations to test his level of love and willingness to sacrifice for you. And now number 7, the last one on this list, and let me just throw in there, after this one we got a bonus. All right, I got one bonus thing I gotta throw in. But number 7 on the list of things a man will do if he really loves you, he will be consistent. Listen, anybody can have a good moment. Anybody can do a good thing here or say a nice thing there. But love, a man who's serious about you, is going to be a man who strives to be consistent in his actions. Not just strives, he just will be. He just will seriously, genuinely be consistent in showing you good, healthy behavior. So all these things we mentioned, being willing to listen to you and sacrifice and pulling out the best in you and provide for you, it won't be a momentary thing. It will be a consistent thing. And when you don't see that consistency, then yes, there's a reason to question if this man truly loves you. There's a reason to question if you can continue a relationship or even have one with this man. But again, he will be consistent. But as always, my spirit is hitting me right now, so I feel the need to say this. He will be consistent, but you need to show appreciation. Listen, here's the thing about men. If we don't feel like something is being appreciated or that it's quote unquote working, meaning is it producing a good positive result? If we don't see that happening, then it's very possible that we will stop doing it. Not because we're unwilling to, but because we don't think it has any effect. We don't think it has any impact. So let me give you a very simple example. If a man gets you flowers, all right, let's say every month he buys you flowers, and you don't seem to have much of a reaction to it. Maybe there's a simple thank you here and there, but it doesn't seem like much. It's very likely that at some point he will stop buying the flowers. Now, what I've learned, and I know from many women, is sometimes you guys aren't always fully expressing how something is important to you or how much you do value it. And there's various reasons why that's happening. We'll talk about that in a different video. But the point is, your lack of expression and your lack of showing appreciation communicates to him, this is not valued by you. Why should I continue? So then he stops. But sometimes the woman gets mad at the man and thinks he's playing games or he's not serious because he stopped. But you got to ask yourself, did I show him I appreciated it? Did I tell him it was important to me? Did I convey the fact that I value these actions? If you have, bravo, you've done your job. But if you haven't, I would encourage you to make that change. I would encourage you to remember, always show appreciation for the things that you do enjoy. Always show appreciation for those things that he's being consistent with. And don't fall into the toxic mindset, what I feel is a toxic mindset of saying to yourself, well, he's supposed to do that. Well, that's his job. You know, why I got to give him any kind of praise for it? Listen, any good deed someone does is a choice they're making. Always appreciate the choice that they made to do right by you, all right? Because people can choose to do wrong. They can choose to neglect. So when they're choosing to be consistent in good action, do not fall into the entitlement mindset of, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Always stick to the appreciation mindset of showing thanks and praise and love for that person pouring into you in that way. So again, he will be consistent when he really loves you, but you must show appreciation for his actions. And so I told you guys I would have one more bonus thing that a man will do if he loves you. And the caveat here is if he is a believer, all right? And that bonus thing is the man who loves you will pray for you. Plain and simple. I don't know any man who's a believer who isn't madly in love with his woman that doesn't pray for his woman. Praying is one of the most loving things you can do for someone. And a man who cares about you like that is going to pray, is going to go to God about you, is going to pray for your best, for you to get what you deserve in life, and pray for your happiness and pray for your peace and all these wonderful things. Now, granted, you may not always see that he does pray for you, but I just want to throw that out there because I feel like it needs to be highlighted. And I also feel like any man watching this should know, if you love her, pray for her. If you care about her, be willing to go to God about her. Be willing to not only protect her mind, her body, but her spirit as well. That's what real love is all about. All right. So once again, be sure to get your copy of The Man God Has For You. Click the link below in the description, in the comments section. As always, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, comment below. Tell me something that you feel that wasn't on this list that a man will do when he really loves you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.